How's it going, guys? Tom and Matt from footballboots.co.uk here, and today we are taking a look at my football boot collection. So, should we get straight into it?
Yeah, there's some absolutely stunning pairs of football boots. So what we're going to do is take a look at each one, and at the very end, you're going to pick your favourite pair. Let's get right into it.
So here it is, Matty. First pair of boots.
So what we're looking at, so we've got the Adidas Predator LZ2s. So these were the second generation of the LZs, which really changed the Predators. So why did you go for this pair of boots?
This pair of boots, first off, I was pretty young when I got these, so the colour, boom, straight in my face, loved it. And I actually really love these little grippy areas. Finesse on the ball, absolutely amazing in these boots.
Yeah, so I see a lot of the guys who do knuckleballs, they love their LZs because it's all about getting that grip on the ball to get that crazy kind of movement when you're playing a knuckleball free kick. Now I see you've got a little bit of personalisation. What were you thinking with this one?
T McG, Tom McGowan. It was free on the boot, so of course it had to be done.
Balling out.
Yeah, that's it.
Love that. So these are a pretty sharp boot. Colourway's not too bad either. I think blue and orange does work quite well. It's one of the colour combinations that I like personally. But that's your number one pair of boots for this collection. So should we move on to number two?
Yeah, let's do it. Rightio, second pair then.
Second pair to have a look at, and the first thing I noticed, we've gone from T McG to Tom McG. The personalisation still lives on. So these are the Adidas Adizero F50s, a pair of boots that Messi wore. Were you a fan of these?
I love these. I love the leather version.
Yeah.
You might see later on a bit different version of these boots, but the leather version I really enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure. I know that a lot of players that I played with a couple of years ago, they also loved the F50 Adizeros, but it was all about the leather variation. I think it just took the boot as a whole to another level, just a bit more comfortable, and the touch and feel was a bit more traditional. So I think these were a really nice boot, and they're so lightweight.
Yeah, crazy for a leather boot to be this lightweight.
And the colourway as well isn't too bad. Red and blue, a little bit too bold for me being a defender, but as a winger, you can get away with these for sure.
Rightio, two down, number three.
Boot number three, so the New Balance Visaro, the first generation. So obviously the second gen has just come out, and me personally, I am so disappointed. I feel like they've gone backwards. It's stiffer, it's thicker. It's not for me, but I think these were actually pretty good.
I really enjoy these boots, really enjoy them. Only one thing for me is the really stiff sole plate.
Yeah, for sure.
That's about it. But once you get used to that, on a whole, really enjoy these boots.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it, to be fair. The sole plate might not be the best out there. It's not as flexible as some other boots, but the upper is very, very grippy, and that is what something that I love so much in a football boot. And if I wasn't so attached to my finished boots from Nike, these would be a great option for me. And a blackout colourway, I know you're a fan.
Love the black boot. Rightio, boot four it is.
The Predator Pulses. Now I know that you've got a little story behind these boots, so come and share to all the viewers out there.
So when I was younger, always wanted a pair of these, never actually picked up a pair that would fit me. So one day, thrift shop, $10.
You're joking.
No,
$10
no
for
joke.
a pair of Pulses.
And they were in better condition than they are now. I've worn them quite a bit.
That's unbelievable. And these are the real ones. These are the Pulses, the actual top level model. These aren't the scaled down ones. These are one of my favourite pair of boots. I had the all blackout colourway with the red tongue, but these, I remember Steve and Gerrard wearing them, and what a pair of boots. What were some of your favourite features about them?
Curve. It's got to be said. Like other boots in my collection, power elements, big play for me. Especially free kicks, bit of finesse, over the wall, top corner.
That's it, so it's all about the width of some of those power elements. Now one thing that I used to do on my Predator boots was actually fold the tongue in. Now I know that's really controversial because the Predator boots back in the day were all about their fold over tongue, but I used to love tucking them in, so I just felt like it made them look a bit sleeker, which is something that I personally prefer. But these are a seriously good boot in your collection, Tommy. Big tick from me.
Rightio, boot number five and first futsal variation.
So I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone with indoor futsal shoes. It's not a sport that I play, I just prefer being outdoors so I can play my long diagonal. So Tommy, you're gonna have to talk me through these a little bit.
This is all me, so futsal's my game. These are the Lunagado ones, and I loved these shoes to bits. They're, as you can see on the bottom, very bare. Not much grip left on them.
They've had a lot of wear in them, and one thing I noticed is they've got a bit of a suede kind of toe box.
Yeah, it just gives that little bit of extra protection and a little bit stronger as well, because you know futsal, a little bit of toe pokes can be played every now and then.
For sure.
So it just gives you that little bit extra.
So do you personally prefer like a leather futsal shoe to a synthetic, or is it a little bit up and down?
No, leather 100%.
It has to be leather.
If you look, once you see my full collection of everything, you can see I'm all about leather.
Tom's about leather, that's his first goes for futsal. Let's bring in your next pair.
Rightio, so from a leather indoor to a leather outdoor.
So these are an absolute smash of a football boot. These are the Hummel 88 Gold boots, and trust me, the leather is so soft. Tommy, you have worn these to death, but it means that they are incredibly soft. You must have worn these a lot. Yeah,
you look around the toe box and I've actually had to do a little bit of a home glue to get them back into playable condition. These, I want to keep them in a decent condition for as long as I can, so I've been a little bit gentle on wearing them lately, but absolutely love this boot. Softest leather.
Oh, it really is. The leather is top quality and the sole plate is super flexible. Now, they might not be the most popular boot on the market at the moment, but back in the day, the 70s, 80s and 90s, there was a lot of footballers who wore these, especially in the European leagues and also in the American leagues, so the early kind of MLS. A lot of Hummel boots were worn back in the day, and they are still around at the moment, but they're just not as popular as Nike, Adidas and Puma. But if you want something that's really comfortable, leather boot, which is what you're all about, leather, comfort and wide fitting, the Hummels are going to be a smash.
Can't go wrong. Rightio, so from a black leather boot onto a white.
Yeah, so you've gone a little bit flashy with this. Looking at the boots at the moment, there's a lot of kind of blacks and blues going on, but these are fresh white, and to be fair, you've kept them pretty good condition, and that's maybe because they're a limited edition. So these were the Adidas Ace Etch Pack, and the whole idea was the Adidas 3 stripes either side were actually etched into the leather themselves. How do these feel for you?
This leather is impeccable. It's very similar to the Hummel, but oh, I love these boots. I've been, as you can see, so cautious wearing them though. I really don't know if I want to let them get dirty or not.
Yeah, exactly. You probably don't want to be wearing them on a 3G pitch, that's for sure, because firstly they'll get stains on that white leather, and also there might be some sole separation because the upper, trust me, is so soft. Adidas actually put these at a really premium price, but to be fair, the materials used in the craftsmanship are really nice. So let's put these boots down. They're going to stand out pretty well against all the blacks and the blues, but let's move on to our next pair.
Righto, so now from leather to one of the few synthetic boots I have in my collection.
So one thing about these football boots is that I personally remember when these were released, and it wasn't so big to buy your boots online then. It was all about going down to kind of Sports Direct, those kind of shops, having a little feel, having them on feet, and the first thing I noticed was how light they were. I actually remember going into the sports shop, picking them up, and I was like, this is like a bag of crisps. They were honestly so light, but you've got a story as well about these, so come and share.
These were the first ever proper top model boots that I got. First ever. And they came, I ordered them myself actually online because of all the hype about them being the lightest ever, and I like, it's something I got to try. I love this colorway, especially when I was a younger kid. This was so me, so I had to do it.
Yeah, it is all about, I think a lot of players can remember their first pair of premium football boots. Ask anyone who plays football, they can usually remember their first pair. So you had the F50 Adizeros, I had the Umbro XAIs, the ones that Shearer wore. I think this was like in 2002, really old school.
You're an old man.
A bit like the Predators. They had that fold over tongue with some little kind of power elements on top. But I can appreciate these were your first premium pair of full boots, so we'll always have a soft spot for them.
Exactly. Rightio, now from a bright boot back to a black boot.
So these are so nice. These are the Nike CTR 360s. I think these are the second generation model, and these were so popular. I know that they kind of became famous for Andres Iniesta. He was a headline wearer, but why do you like them so much?
The colorway. I absolutely love black on black on black. Love it so much. I am very upset that Nike stopped making the CTRs. So upset, but luckily I managed to nab myself a pair of these before they did that. Unfortunately, they're pulling away a little bit, so I'm going to have to be careful on how much I actually play with them.
Yeah, so two things that you're dead on. Firstly, these are a true blackout. There is not one splash of colour on them. The laces black, the upper black, the Nike swoosh, the sole plate, they are all black. These are as true blackout as you can get. So these are real popular for academy players. Now the second thing that you were so right about was that there were so many players out there who were devastated that the CTR 360 range actually came to an end. I think there were 3 generations in total, but they were so popular. I myself had a pair. I had the elite ones with that carbon fibre sole plate. I thought they were so good. The upper for a synthetic was really soft, but I'm not surprised that these were one of your favourite pairs of all time.
So next boot, something a little bit different.
So these are the Tiempo Legacy. So these aren't even a premium model, but why are they so good and what do you wear them for?
Well, the thing that makes the difference for me on these boots is their sole plate. They have the artificial sole plate, so they're a perfect training boot for me. Saving some of these babies from getting torn up too much, especially when we're training on the 3G. It really saves my other boots, and I'm perfectly happy wearing these for like a training boot.
I think Tom's exactly right. So if you are playing a lot on 3G, especially for training, you might not want to damage your most expensive and favourite pairs. So getting a scaled down boot like the Legacy which is still high quality with a leather upper, is going to mean that you're not going to ruin your favourite pairs. Now, alongside that, they do have that AG sole plate, which is recommended and actually specifically for 3G services. And one nice touch at the end is that it actually comes with a little suede kind of reinforced toe box, just to kind of help with sole separation, because it does occur prematurely when you wear leather football boots on a 3G surface. So these are a great training boot, good choice.
Okay, and on to one of my favourite boots in my whole collection.
Yes, as you said, I think if these don't win your favourite boots in the collection, I'll be very surprised, because these are absolutely gorgeous. So the boot itself, the Adipures, had some of the best leather you will find on any football boot at the time. It is so premium, plush, quality, soft. These are lovely, so it's not surprising that Tony Cruz still wears his Adipure football boots and talk us through that colourway.
It doesn't get better, does it? Gold colourway, little touches of black, absolutely perfect. I love these boots just so much. I literally can't describe the colourway and how it feels to wear them. You look down at your feet and you just see these little touches of gold. Even when you're running, they just flash through.
I love it. Gold and black football boots are one of my favourites as well. For a centre half, it's a little bit controversial, but you can probably get away with it with that left foot playing higher up the pitch. Now, one thing that I'm so devastated about is I can see that sole separation is occurring. So to be fair, you probably couldn't even wear these at the moment, or if you do, it's not going to be surprising if you go for a big strike and the sole plate completely falls off. So it's probably like last legs for you.
Yeah, I've been very careful with these guys. Not really wearing them much at all. I might see if I can get them fixed up a little bit, trying a little bit of glue, but I want to look after these as good as I can.
Lovely pair of boots, Tommy.
So from the gold Adidas to the black Adidas.
Yes, the Copa Mundial, the absolute godfather, heritage, champion of all football boots, the Copa Mundial. We've seen the Hummels. They're a very kind of like alternative leather football boot, but every single player involved in football knows about the Copas.
You have to own a pair in your lifetime, like you have to do it. You have to try them on, you have to feel the soft leather against your foot. These, as you can probably see, have been absolutely battered. I have worn these so much, and it's just the comfort for me.
Yeah, exactly. It is all about the comfort, and to be fair, they actually do last a pretty long time. There is a little bit of sole separation occurring, but you can really wear these day in, day out, and they're going to last you a long time. Now, one thing that I used to do, we've seen that Tommy had the blackout CTR 360s. I actually used to unstitch those Adidas 3 stripes. I used to get a little pick them all off, and underneath was just a black leather. So that's something that I used to do, but obviously you're a classic man with that black and white. And are these one of your favourites of all time?
They've got to be. Like, just the comfort on your foot, they feel amazing.
They're so soft.
Yeah, you can't fault them.
Exactly. So, nice boot there. Follow up from the gold pair, but let's move on to the next ones.
So from one of the most classic boots ever onto one of the newest.
Tommy, to be fair, you couldn't get further away from the Copa Mundial to the Adidas Glitch. This is like the Ford Fiesta to the Ferrari Enzo Bugatti Veyron. Honestly, they're hardly even comparable. So we've got the classic leather. One of these boots is still leather, but they're all about the two-piece boot. Are they a boot for you?
I do actually really enjoy them. I love the concept. I'm probably more about the concept than the boot itself, but the no laces as well is really attractive to me, like nice big strike zone for the ball.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much dead on. To be fair, the Glitch maybe isn't so much about performance, but I think they are a really cool product. I think they're pretty sick. It's a two-part boot. You put this on first and slide it into the outer skin. I think they are pretty cool. Now for me, my personal favourite of the outer skins is the agility knit upper. What about you?
Leather.
Leather,
all
man.
about leather.
This is what we learned today.
Man.
Tom's all about the leather.
Yep, so leather for me, and as you can see, I've got the white and the black colourway here. There's obviously been the pink and the yellow of the Mirage pack, which are pretty outrageous. Not something for me personally, but white and black, can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly right. I think these are quite a classical kind of black with the orange and the white and the orange as well. I think they're pretty classical and a lot more classic than the Opti ones that have just come out.
Yeah,
those ones with the crazy
true.
kind of pinstripe design. I think you've made a good choice with these colourways, and you're all about the leather. I'm about agility in it, but let's move on to your next ones.
So moving on to a pair that we've already had in this video, but different sole plate, different colourway.
Predator LZ2s, again all about those rubber elements, which gave a little bit more purchase on the football boot, but SGs.
Yeah, I love them so much that I went from the firm ground to the soft ground just so I could wear them all season round pretty much.
So I don't really like green colourways. I wasn't a fan of the F50s. I'm not a fan of this green colourway, but obviously a green is a colour for you.
I wouldn't say it's a colour for me, but I don't mind it. Like at the time, this was the colourway that was out, and I was a younger kid, and I thought, yep, why not? Bit brighter, bit out there.
So one thing that I've noticed on the LZ2s is it comes with that My Coach. Did you ever use it?
I did.
You
I
did
had
use it.
one.
How much ground you cover?
Pre-seasons, you don't want to know, eh? Absolutely hated them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually found it really, really interesting having that My Coach. Unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore, so I can't use it. But did really find that interesting having it within a boot.
Nice. Second pair of LZs. Let's put these aside and let's bring in your next boot.
Right, so on to another blackout boot.
So the Adidas Predator X. Now you might love these football boots, but for me, these were the start of the end of the Predator boots. I used to love the original ones who got the Predator pulses, all about a lovely leather being luxurious and classy, but these just changed it a little bit too much. They just felt a little bit stiff, so they weren't necessary for me, but you obviously love them.
I love these boots. Love these boots so much. You can tell by how worn they are.
Holes on holes.
Absolutely demolished them. Yeah, I loved them. Really loved them. The heel counter for me felt so stable on my heel, on my ankle, and yeah, just wore them to bits.
I think that is probably my favourite feature of the Predator boots as a whole, was the external heel counter, that big old piece of plastic which wrapped around the ankle, and you did feel so locked in. You felt very stable. I loved it on the Predator Pulse. I loved it on the Power Swerves. I think the Power Swerves had my favourite heel counter, and I think you might have a pair of Power Swerves coming up in the video in a special colourway. But overall, you love the leather football boot and you love a blackout colourway. So this is pretty much what they give you?
Yeah, 100%. So back on to another pair of light synthetic boots.
So these are the Adidas Adizero F50s in a colourway which matches your football boot shirt. Now, were you a fan of the synthetic version?
Not as much as the leather, as we've said before, but I still did like them, just how light they are.
These are honestly so light. I feel like if I threw them up, they just carry on.
Keep going.
They wouldn't even come back, they just fly into space. They're so light, and as I said, one of the first things that I do remember about these boots were how light they were.
Yeah, it gives you just that little bit of mental as well. Oh, my feet are so light, I must be able to run so fast. May not be the case when you get a stud on your foot, but
it is crazy how you wear a light pair of football boots and you just feel a little bit faster.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I'm quite like a big, heavy, old school centre half. I'm not quick, but if I do wear like a Vapor or a Superfly or these football boots, in my head, I just feel a little bit faster if I could just throw a little step over or a Cruyff turn. I feel like I could do it.
Whoa.
Know my levels, know my limits. But big fan of these though.
Yeah, enjoyed them. It lasted me well, these boots.
So let's put them aside and bring in 3 more pairs of football boots and see where we're at.
Rightio, back to the good old leather black.
Leather black, so these are Tiempo Legend 4s. It's all about that stitching across the toe box, very premium, and these had such a soft upper. Big fan?
Big fan, big fan. These are the soft ground version, so these got me through those wet, muddy games. And surprisingly for these boots, they didn't actually, well, I didn't find them getting too heavy with moisture. Some of the other ones, especially those Hummels, get really heavy in the wet, but these seem to do okay.
Yeah, I think these Tiempos are all about getting the job done. You've gone with the black colourway with a little bit of white, very classic, and you've got the SG sole plate. So if you're a defender on that wet, muddy pitch, these are going to do the absolute job for you. And I think these were actually a really nice football boot. I actually had a pair myself, not in this colourway, a little bit more of a flash colourway. I think I had them in all Volt actually. I do like all Volt colourways from Nike, but I think these are a smash. Do you still wear them for any SGs?
Yeah, I do actually. Every now and then I'll crank them out for a game, especially middle winter when the pitch is soggy as. These are my go-to.
Nice, good choice. 2 more boots to go.
Rightio, second to last pair, some of my absolute favourites.
So we mentioned it not long ago that we had a pair of the Power Swerves in a pretty special colourway. And were these the Samba colourway?
I believe so, released for 2010 World Cup.
Nice. Was that in South Africa?
Yeah, South Africa one.
So it was about that external heel counter. We can just see on that medial side, it's got that kind of wave kind of style to it. I love these so much. Again, I started folding that tongue, and those power elements on that forefoot were so good.
Yeah, when I'm lacing these up, I just know every free kick I'm hitting, it's going the same place, you know?
It's pretty crazy, just like we said about a light football boot, you feel a little bit quicker. When you've got like a proper Adidas Predator boot on your feet, you feel like you can whip those free kicks around any wall, just like Beckham. You could almost do like a Bobby Carlos inside out, any kind of shape you wanted to play. A pair of Power Swerves, you could do it.
You're in control, aren't you?
Exactly right. Last pair of boots, so let's get into the boots you're wearing at the moment.
Rightio, so the pair of the moment, black and gold, can't go wrong.
Black and gold, so we saw them on the Adipures. They had the gold and the black. This time it's black and gold. What a colourway these are. If you want to look classy, these are going to be the boots for you, the Gloros.
Yeah, Some of the softest leather out of all of them. Some of the softest leather.
Unbelievable. I actually remember when we received our pair of Gloros Fat Football boots, they were the black and white colourway, and straight out of the box I could not believe how soft that leather was, especially because they're so affordable. They're actually a really good price, so when I took them out of the box I wasn't expecting to be as buttery soft as they are. Now if you don't want to pay the high price tags of Nike and Adidas boots, then the Gloros are going to be a great choice.
Oh, definitely. These at the moment are my go-to training boot, and I absolutely love them. They're like slippers. Every time you slide them on, they get more and more comfy.
Yeah, I think slippers is the absolute word for them. I think they're so good for that. So let's put your last pair of boots aside to bring in something which you're very attached to.
Something very close to my heart. Radio. These are my absolute babies. I cannot tell you guys how much Tom goes on about his Lunar Gatos. Yeah, he plays a really high level of indoor football, futsal, and he swears by these boots. Don't you love them so much? I love these so much. As you can see, I've worn these to the point where they have split in half. My foot actually came out of the boot in game wearing these.
So one of the things was, a couple of weeks ago we did our top 10 things not to do with football boots, and one of them was taping up your football boots, and this is what you've done with your Gatos because you like them that much.
I love them so much. When Nike announced that they were going to stop making the Gatos, I almost cried.
Yeah.
I almost cried. And I'd go to the point where these are my last 4 pairs I've been able to find pretty much anywhere to fit me. And they're all, if you look at the sole, every single one is starting to go. Every single one.
Send that a request.
Yeah, honestly, if you have any Lunar Gatos US 9.5, hit me up, because I need these in my life.
Get in touch with this man. He needs some more Lunar Gatos, because I can't be dealing with any more tape. It's like his Lunar Gatos are actually talking to me on the pitch. These have got to go, no more tape. But that's pretty much it, your collection. But as I said, you've got to pick your favourite pair out of all the ones laid out on the pitch. All we want to see is one pair.
Can I do a football and a futsal?
Let's do a futsal and a football.
Okay. Favourite futsals?
I can see why.
2 national titles won in these, by the way.
2 national titles, the guy's real deal.
Those are my babies.
So
football boots. You've got me struggling. I've got 2 that straight away catch my eye.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good choice.
What one do you think I'm going to take?
I reckon you'll probably go for the Power Serve, because it's all about your left foot free kicks.
I would say the same, but the colourway. It's the colourway just wins it for me. And the leather, so soft. So these are my go-to football boots, my creme de la creme of my collection.
The creme de la creme of Tommy's collection. You guys, you can also vote for your favourite pair in Tommy's collection by voting in the poll card now. Guys, that is Tommy's collection. Maybe I can do mine next time. Yep. But thanks for watching, guys, and as always,
we'll see you next time.